Salam, little one.
Did God paint you?
For certain.
Why?
Because Allah loves wondrous variety.
People of all colors and races believing in one God.
We are not here for vengeance, we are here for justice.
It was a bold and courageous act to make a film that presented our world from inside out and not from outside in.
As a Muslim woman, it makes me so happy that kids will have characters like Zara to look up to.
Let us move past labels and start telling our own real and complex stories of who we truly are so that we can connect with one another as our real, authentic selves.
Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and blessings of God be with you. Welcome from Los Angeles, California to the 30th Annual MPAC Media Awards. I'm Sue Obeidi, and I'm the director of the Hollywood Bureau. Before we get started with the show, in the Muslim tradition, let's begin with Bismillah, in the name of God. To open this year's Media Awards, here is Hafiz and Hollywood Bureau Fellow Abdullah Abbas. He holds this distinguished title of Hafiz for memorizing the entire Holy Quran. Abdullah?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. All praise is for God, Lord of all the worlds, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Master of the day of judgment, you alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, not those you are displeased with, nor those who are astray.
Thank you, Abdullah. And thank you for joining us tonight. This is a milestone for us at the Muslim Public Affairs Council. Tonight marks 30 years of celebrating and honoring people and projects who promote inclusion and social justice through their craft. For those of you who, like me, were at the very first Media Awards at the Century City Plaza, where Morgan Freeman accepted the award for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, tonight is even extra special. The work in realizing true equity within the human race will never cease to exist. All we have to do is just listen to the news to be reminded of that. And the important work in realizing true equity for underrepresented communities on TV and film continues. But that doesn't mean that we don't enjoy the wins along the way. Tonight we celebrate these wins. And so we are celebrating 7 honorees that move the needle forward in changing perceptions of Muslims. Americanish, a film highlighting the different layers of womanhood as they intersect with cultural and societal expectations. I'll Meet You There, a film about a Muslim police officer who goes undercover at his local mosque while his daughter hides her passion for dance. The hilarious Peacock TV comedy We Are Lady Parts, about a group of young Muslim women in Britain who form a punk band. The children's animated series Mira, Royal Detective on Disney Junior is about a brave and resourceful young girl who becomes a royal detective in the fictional kingdom of Jaipur. United States of Al, a series about a Marine veteran and his Afghan interpreter, both starting over in America. Actor and activist Hisham Tawfiq. In addition to being a regular on NBC's hit series The Blacklist, Hisham is a proud Muslim who uses his platform to shatter negative perceptions of Muslims and advocates on behalf of Muslim communities. And last but not least, PBS NewsHour's chief correspondent and Peabody winner, Amna Nawaz, who was the first Asian American and Muslim to moderate a U.S. presidential debate. You will learn more about these inspiring honorees throughout the program. Before we present our first award, on behalf of the board and staff of MPAC, I'd like to thank MPAC's co-founders, the late Dr. Maher Hathout, may God bless his soul in peace, Mr. Abdul Hamid Yunus, and MPAC President Salam El-Mariyati. Their vision to improve public policies and perceptions impacting American Muslims continue to make our work possible today. Our first presenter of the night is joining us all the way from London, England. Joanna Natasagara is an Oscar and Emmy Award-winning producer and past MPAC Media Award honoree for The White Helmets. Her production company, Violet Films, focuses on socially driven impact campaigns that shine a light on issues and people who have often gone unnoticed. Please join me in welcoming Joanna Natasagara.
I'm Joanna Natasagara, and I'm here to announce the feature film honorees. Both films were led by trailblazing Muslim women, and it's clear from the results there was no one better to tell these powerful, authentic, and elevated stories. A break from the traditional romantic comedy. Americanish centers around career-driven sisters Mariam and Sam Khan and their fish-out-of-water cousin Amira as they navigate the turbulent waters of romance, culture, career, and family. The film delves into the complexity of trying to both honor and break from cultural traditions while balancing personal values and career goals in a society that does not always accommodate both. I'll Meet You There is a moving and nuanced portrait of three generations. It follows Majid, a Chicago policeman, his teenage daughter Jua, and his estranged father Baba. Majid struggles between providing for his family and spying on his mosque when he is assigned to go undercover for the FBI. And when Jua's passion for dance seems to be at odds with tradition, her grandfather encourages her to forego her destiny. The film opens a window into the struggle to balance cultural identities by sparking collisions of the past and present, faith and freedom. At the heart of both films is an exploration of faith, identity, and the innate need for personal growth. Now, here are the two feature film honorees.
I decided in 6th grade at 11, 12 years old, that I have to take a stand for my people and who I am and educate others.
Boys don't like girls all covered up. You're never going to get married with that scarf on your head.
I don't want to be with someone who doesn't get my values.
The purpose of the film is to create narratives about strong American Muslim women, period.
I think the stories that are told about Muslim women are almost never told by Muslim women. When you're telling a story of people that are usually othered, what does that look like? You know, with all of our heart, humor, and flaws.
Don't marry a man you love. Marry a man that loves you. He'll take care of you.
Mom, don't you want us to have more than this? Be something?
Yes, but first you go and get married and have children. Then go be whatever you want.
Our country is being overrun by immigrants.
You're working on the Douglas Smarts account. I mean, the guy is a racist.
I had never seen or read a script like this before. I was constantly up for roles that, talked about me being brown, and I had to put on an accent or be the terrorist sister and plead with my father. And honestly, I got to a point where I was sick of it.
If you don't love him, don't marry him. But...
Okay, Mira, we need to go right now.
This is your life. You do what's best for you.
you have 1,000 wishes and you wish that they could all come true. And I think that's what all of these women are kind of striving for. They have all these dreams and wishes that they're trying to attain, and it's very hard. And you might get that dream and it looks a little bit different than you thought it would.
The FBI has asked for our support.
What can I do for you?
We'd like you to start attending the mosque regularly.
I don't go to mosque.
Well, we'd like you to find a reason to go.
After 9/11, I felt that there was such a spotlight on the Muslim community, you had to define what type of Muslim you were. Before that, you could just go on being Muslim, being part of, one of your identities.
Why don't you like dancing?
You're a woman. And when you flaunt your body in front of men, they see your body, not your soul.
I feel connected to God when I dance.
There is an element of spirituality when she dances. It's a metaphor because we're all dancing between identities, we're dancing between generations, we're dancing between ideologies, we're dancing between nations.
No one should be vilified, no one should be aggrandized, nobody should be demonized. We just need to be humanized. This particular film is a really great step in that direction.
4 or 5 years after 9/11, men of my age at that time, their late teens in college, would tell me that they would have the FBI call their dorm rooms. An Iranian friend whose father was picked up from a mosque after Fajr prayers. After 2 years, the only charges against him were incorrect filing of taxes. This was the Patriot Act in its crudest form that had hit that close to home.
If I hadn't taken the time out to prove this, they'd all rot in jail.
One of the things that I think the movie captures and that Iram has done so beautifully is create a story which is non-judgmental.
We're all constantly evolving and growing, and there's no one Muslim or there's no one American and there's no one anything. And that is exactly why we need to kind of sit back, empathize, and not judge and coexist.
You can cook now.
See? Things change.
क्या खुशबू है.
Here are the teams behind Americanish, and I'll meet you there with their acceptance speeches.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Iman Zawari, and I am the director of Americanish. I am so incredibly honored to receive the Media Award this year for our film.
Thank you so much, MPAC, for this incredible honor. We are so thrilled and grateful. Mwah.
Thank you so much to the Muslim Public Affairs Council for bestowing this huge honor on our film Americanish.
This is Muhammad Malas here. I'm truly honored and thankful to receive the MPAC Media Award. And I would like to congratulate MPAC on its 30 years of service to the community.
We are very honored and grateful for your recognition in telling stories authentically of Muslim people and of social justice and of social issues.
In 2011, I created a one-woman show called Dirty Packy Lingerie, and I got in a lot of trouble with that title within the American Muslim community, and MPAC's Hollywood Bureau and Sue Abedi were the first and the only American Muslim organization to fully support my work back then, and Iman Zawari and I took 4 of the characters from that one-woman show and created what's now become Americanish. It's been a rough time being a Muslim filmmaker in this industry, and MPAC has been working so hard to support and pave the way for Muslim filmmakers.
This was a film that was trying to say so many things while entertaining us.
We tried our best to reach all kinds of audiences all around the world, and it's such an honor to be honored, of course, under the vision of Iman Zawari, director, writer, producer, and also lead actress, writer, producer, Aiza Fatima, and the entire team of incredible women that made this work.
I speak for everyone when I say this just makes us inspired to continue telling these stories and working so hard to do so.
Thank you so much for being on this journey with us, and thank you for all the work that you do. Sue and the whole MPAC Hollywood Bureau uplift us, make sure that our voices are heard, and support us in a way that we haven't been supported before.
Happy 30th anniversary, and thanks again for the Media Award.
Thank you, MPAC.
And happy 30th anniversary!
Assalamu alaikum.
this is Farhan Tahir. And on behalf of our entire cast and crew, and personally, I cannot put into words how humbled and honored we are at this recognition from Muslim Public Affairs Council of our film, I'll Meet You There.
I just want to say congratulations to MPAC on the 30th anniversary of the Media Awards.
Thank you for MPAC for creating space and support.
We, the team of I'll Meet You There, are honored and humbled and doubling down on our faith for challenging the status quo of thinking and telling authentic stories.
I'm Abid Aziz Merchant, and I collaborated with Iram on I'll Meet You There some 5 years ago. This powerful project was very close to her, and it also became very close to my heart since the day I associated myself with it.
When you get an opportunity to tell stories that have not been told before, of course it is daunting, but it is the more fruitful when you see the impact that it has.
We all know how hard it is to make films, but we all really know how exceptionally hard it is to make a film that layers the Muslim experience in a rich, nuanced way, the way that I'll Meet You There does.
This film flips the tropes and stereotypes of Muslims in the media on its head. We see a father-daughter relationship that is easy and accepting and supportive. We see a brown woman who isn't afraid to express herself.
It gave voice to experiences for people who've never seen that before, who's never seen their own lives kind of put on screen in this way.
In a time where the world is so fragmented and so separated based on everyone's individual and political and social beliefs, it's really refreshing to see a piece of art that's about people who are persuading each other to see the world the way they do and then eventually meeting in the middle.
It isn't a coincidence that it is so tough for the traditionally underprivileged and oppressed to enter the power of influence in media and politics, which is why it is even more essential for organizations and enablers such as MPAC to come forward and highlight, amplify, discover, uplift these voices.
A big thank you to all at MPAC for the recognition and honor by placing us amongst this august mix of high achievers.
Thank you, MPAC. Thank you to the investors and enablers, the cast, the crew, the team, the publicists, the journalists, the critics, the audiences that have uplifted our voices.
A labor of love that has seen many accolades and many battles. But it is MPAC that gives us the hope and confidence to keep on telling our stories of Muslim experience in the United States. We thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Congratulations to the creative team of Americanish and I'll Meet You There. And a big thank you for the impact you are making in telling stories that matter. The MPAC Hollywood Bureau works within the entertainment industry to improve the narrative around Muslim communities. And it works to identify, cultivate, and connect Muslim talent so they move on to tell their own stories. We are not doing this alone. We are standing on the shoulders of communities that have struggled with narrative change for decades. The MPAC Hollywood Bureau is a member organization of many collaboratives. Among them are Storyline Partners, the Sundance Institute's allied organizations, and CAA's Full Story Initiative. Our partnerships with networks and studios help expand our sphere of influence, and we are so grateful. One such partnership is with Warner Media Discovery, where talent from various communities participate in workshops that help hone their skills so when the time comes, they are ready to be hired. It is with great pleasure that I introduce Sarah Mook, who was a participant of the Warner Media Discovery Early Access Boot Camp in which the MPAC Hollywood Bureau was a partner. Sarah?
Thank you so much, Sue. Bismillah, assalamu alaikum, and congratulations to MPAC on their 30th Media Awards. Like Sue said, I participated in the Warner Media Access Early Career Bootcamp last year in partnership with MPAC. And I almost didn't participate because I had a lot of scheduling conflicts. But luckily, I got a call from Sue Arbeidi, and she told me, listen, you're going to want to clear your schedule for this. Trust me. And I'm so glad I listened to her. The boot camp was really informative and really helpful in and of itself, but also having it on my resume helped me get an admin position at NBC. MPAC also helped me get a position as a consultant for a show on a major network. And having those things as I wrote my own scripts and put them through the competition circuit really helped me as I applied for jobs and eventually signed with a media company for my first screenwriting job. That led to another writing job, and I can really sort of trace a lot of my early career trajectory to the support I've gotten at MPAC. You know, starting out in the industry for anyone, no matter how talented you are or how hard you work, is really difficult and scary. And I think no matter who you are, you need someone in your corner, someone who's going to support you, connect you with a network of people who will support you. And that's really the work that MPAC is doing. So I'm really grateful and really excited to see all the voices they uplift and all the great work to come. And congratulations once again. Thank you for having me here to celebrate.
Thank you, Sarah. You are definitely a success story. As you heard from Sarah, the work we do on behalf of the community is coming to fruition. And I want to underscore, it is because of your financial support. The work is ongoing and can't be done without you. Please donate at MPAC.org. Throughout tonight's program, we'll be thanking our major donors who have elevated our work for over 30 years. Among them are Suzette and Nair Ali, Holly and Kamal Hamdan, Firdaus and Ramzi Hakim, Redya and Sabih Al-Mariyati, and Nejwa and Megdi El-Etrabi. And now I'm so excited to introduce my friend and colleague, Habib Vera. Habib and Ramzi Hakim co-chair the Hollywood Bureau Advisory Committee. The committee is comprised of executives, producers, screenwriters, and activists who provide strategic insight that guides our engagement with Hollywood. Habib, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Sue. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Congratulations to the hardworking staff and board of directors at MPAC on the 30th Annual Media Awards. In an increasingly polarized time, the portrayal of diverse and authentic characters and stories on screen are more critical than ever. It is in this environment that I'm truly humbled and honored to serve the Muslim community through this wonderful institution. On behalf of the board and staff of MPAC, I'd like to thank the members of our Hollywood Bureau Advisory Committee for their dedication to our work. Sam Bland with System 9, Salam Darwaza with Google, Mike Farrell, actor, producer, activist, Consuelo Flores, an entertainment industry professional, Sami Haq with Apple TV+, Sumail Khan with Endeavor Content, Tim McNeil with Disney General Entertainment, Farhood Mehbodi, founder, Ritual Arts, Mary Siddiqui with the Sundance Institute, Tiffany Smith Anoa'i with CBS Entertainment, Roger Wolfson, showrunner, writer, producer. We are tremendously honored and grateful to be working with this dedicated group of people. Now, it's time for some comic relief. We often do this work and don't take a temperature check on the average person's take of Muslim portrayals on screen. This year, we did just that, and we reached out to our friend Omar Reagan, a comedian, actor, producer, and director with an international fan base. Here's Omar speaking to people on Hollywood Boulevard.
Salams, I'm Omar Reagan, and I'm here on the streets asking people about the changes in the entertainment industry. Now let's see if perceptions of Muslims have changed or if we have more PR to do. Have you ever seen any like Muslim romantic comedies?
I think we saw one. I want to say I think so.
There's not much movies about it, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
We hardly see any.
What they be saying?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Salams, baby girl. Woo, she knows. What is your perception of Muslims?
I think Muslims are cool. I mean, I like their style. You know how like they have like they cover their head and stuff like that. It's really creative. I like it.
I don't know Muslims at all.
Man. Well, all right. I like what you say when you say what you say, how you say it. Do you feel that Muslims are portrayed in a good light in the media or in a bad light?
I think It depends what media you watch, because I've seen them good and then I've seen them bad.
I think it's getting worse.
But I think it's getting better, definitely. You know, it wasn't the way it used to be, but now it's being more embraced, so that's good.
It hasn't gotten better at all. Since 911, I think it's gotten worse.
What do you say?
I think it's gotten worse too, especially since Donald Trump, you know?
No, it didn't get better, or I feel like no one is representing us.
I want to say that it's getting a little bit better.
And I think there's always more work to do. I feel like the perceptions have started to change.
I also want to see more of it, you know, more, the inclusion in those movies. So.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see more Muslims represented. Just like getting to know the culture, the traditions, and like some of the things that you guys probably do. I think it would be really nice to get exposed to that.
I like that. And you guys agree, we want to see more.
Yes, we do want to see more. It'd be fun. Of course. The more diverse, the better.
Thank y'all so much. Salam. Woo! I cannot have all this fun by myself. Sue, back to you.
Never a dull moment with you, Omar. You need your own show, which I know you're working on. We'll be seeing more of Omar later in the program. Before I introduce our next presenter, I want to extend our thanks to our major donors, Esmeralda Alfie, Dr. Ragah Hattout, the Walt Disney Studios, Google, and Facebook. Here to present the honorees for Episodic series is Saber Pirzada, an alum of our screenwriting lab with ABC Television. He has written for Person of Interest on CBS, Moon Knight on Disney+, and the recently released, highly acclaimed series Miss Marvel, which has the first Muslim lead in the Marvel superhero universe. Please join me in welcoming Saber Pirzada.
Thank you, Sue. Good evening. I'm Saber Pirzada. At its best, television helps put a mirror up to society, and a beloved series is like a newfound friend. With each episode, we gladly welcome writers, directors, producers, and actors into our homes. And we're better for it, because they surprise us, they make us laugh, they make us cry, and sometimes, as is the case with our next three honorees, they even make us feel seen. In a world where Muslim women often don't feel represented or see themselves on screen, our first series serves as a realistic portrayal of the joys and challenges Muslim women face on their journey in finding their voice. We Are Lady Parts is an anarchic, humorous, and irreverent musical comedy following a Muslim female punk band called Lady Parts, who are on a mission to find a lead guitarist and maybe, just maybe, get a proper gig. The series was created, written, and directed by British-Pakistani Nida Mansoor. Next, an animated mystery set in the fictional kingdom of Jaipur with a commoner turned royal detective. With a talented South Asian cast, Disney Junior's Mira, Royal Detective, draws on the subcontinent's rich and diverse culture as the cast takes us on colorful adventures, all while solving one investigative mystery after another. The creative team includes screenwriters and actors from India's diverse community. The show celebrates diversity and inspires children to cultivate a love for learning. As the 2021 crisis in Afghanistan unfolded, the team behind our third honoree pivoted to depict the plight of Afghan refugees to millions of Americans. CBS United States of Al tells the story of Awalmir, or Al, an interpreter for the U.S. Marines in Afghanistan, now living in Ohio with his best friend Riley, a U.S. combat Marine veteran. The series authentically explores the immigrant experience in America. Though the unlikely friendship between the main characters, the show also sheds new light on the refugee experience. The writer's room of United States of Al includes Afghan and Muslim screenwriters whose voices and experiences are critical in telling this crucial story. Each of our honorees has redefined Muslim storylines and advanced Muslim characters and creatives. Here are our honorees for Episodic series.
That is me, 26, Capricorn, finishing a PhD in microbiology.
Knock knock.
This is Lady Parts, a confused mix of hash anthems and sour girl power.
All of the characters have anger and frustration that they're channeling in different ways.
As women of color, oftentimes you get a lot of heat for being who you are, and I really wanted the show to go there with these characters.
You've fallen in love with all these girls in all their differences and all their idiosyncrasies, and you know when this person's going to flip out, you know when this person's going to panic, you know what makes them who they are. and you love them and you realize that people are just going to judge them no matter what, just because they're different, just because they exist.
That was my problem. I lose my mind over every Bashir with a good beard that smiles at me, you know? Sorry.
Bashir with a good beard. That's brilliant.
What?
But you do realise how kind of in the media and on TV we are shown certain things, and it creates this kind of image in our minds that we associate with that type of person, or, you know, these women or these men. It's so important that things like these are made and different voices are heard.
One of the questions that comes up for me often from, you know, young women of colour, Muslim women, is how do you have the courage to speak when your auntie, your uncle, the TL will come for you? And it's, again, it was important for me to take these characters to that dark place, to then also say, you may not please everyone, but your voice is worth speaking and worth hearing. And that was one of the messages I really feel quite passionate about.
If there's a mystery, something is definitely wrong. She will solve it. It's a perfect match. If it's missing,
is finding a bike really important enough for a royal detective?
Every case is important.
I hope that kids are sort of opened up, their eyes are open to this culture they might know nothing about. A lot of South Asian kids and their families are so happy to see their own lives reflected on the screen.
Even something that small at this young age can make such an impact on them in terms of their self-confidence and then their ability to be brave when they're old enough and just let it rip, you know what I mean? Let their light shine in the world.
Eid Mubarak, let's enjoy the day and say Eid Mubarak, time to celebrate.
5-year-old me is really proud of the 36-year-old me, and hopefully my kids will be able to watch this and feel a little bit more represented.
As a kid, I always felt like an outcast. I had a lot of friends, but I was definitely different from all of my friends. So it's really great that they are able to be exposed to so much diversity everywhere.
Wow, you're good.
She's the royal detective.
The royal detective? That's me. Cello, cello, let's go.
Clues.
We're on the case.
I want to see everything. Washington, D.C., Las Vegas. And what's the name of that place that sells peanut butter and brings it to you on a forklift? Costco.
We get to see Al buy a car. We get birthday parties, bounce houses, bingo halls, a real sort of like wide array of things that are light and funny and just delightful to sort of see the family sort of coming together. But then we also get to see some more serious issues.
The second season kicks off with an emotional episode inspired by the actual experiences of the show's Afghan and military veteran writers in late summer.
You know, me and my coworker Adir, our military advisor and one of our Afghan writers, flew to D.C. to try to ask the president to do everything that he could to help these men and women that have served our country alongside our troops. Our military advisor, a guy named Chase Millsap, he was on the phone day and night trying to get loved ones out of the country. And we ended up using that experience to inspire our season 2 premiere episode, which was about my character and the interpreter fighting to get his sister out of country. So talk about art imitating life. I mean, the lines really started to blur there.
Riley.
Is it confirmed?
The Taliban took Herat. Kabul might be next. Al's family's there.
We're at the airport. Although there's so many people, I don't think I can do this.
Listen to me. I am right there with you.
All those things that you will see that happens to Al and Riley in this episode, that was my life.
We were actually writing the script as world events were happening.
I am personally hoping that our story can just keep the story alive.
It's the most important thing that I will do, probably, in my career.
And here are the teams behind our episodic series with their acceptance speeches.
Hi, I'm Nida Manzoor, the writer, creator, and director of We Are Lady Parts. And I wanted to say a huge thank you on behalf of the entire team to MPAC and to the Hollywood Bureau for this incredible honor. MPAC is celebrating its 30th year this year. You know, that's 30 years of championing Muslim voices, of challenging stereotypes, of pushing Muslim representation on screen. So thank you for this vital work. And, you know, it just really means a lot to be among the past honorees. You know, We Are Lady Parts came from a place of frustration for me as a writer. I was frustrated by the kinds of Muslim representation I was seeing on screen that didn't reflect my experience. especially when it came to women, always portrayed as long-suffering, as one-dimensional, of lacking joy. So I wanted to create a show that showed Muslim women for their nuance and for the myriad of ways they can be, the complexities. So this is so cool to be recognized. Why I think MPAC is such a particularly awesome organization is this recognition it gives to stories for their courage and their conscience, because it does take courage to tell stories when there's so few being told on our screens. So to be recognized, I can only hope will encourage other writers to pick up their pens, will encourage producers to create these new shows, because it's only when we have real richness in our landscape, when we have different voices, can our work become bolder, more fearless. And it's thanks to the incredible work that organizations like MPAC do, champion voices, that really makes a difference. So thank you for this award, and hope to see you soon.
Hi, I'm Sasha Palladino, the executive producer and showrunner of Mira Royal Detective.
Hi, I'm Lila Ladner, and I'm the voice of Mira on Mira Royal Detective.
Hi, I'm Audrey Ford, and I'm the line producer.
I'm Jeannie Lurie.
Matthew Tischler, and I'm one of the songwriters on Mira Royal Detective.
I'm Amrita Vaz, and I'm the composer.
I'm Shagorika Ghosh Perkins, and I'm the cultural consultant and consulting producer.
I'm Becca Topol, co-producer and story editor, and I developed
Mira Royal Detective.
I'm Richard Marlis, president of Wild Canary Animation. We're the studio that produced Mira Royal Detective.
Hi, I'm Sue Parado, and I'm the supervising director.
I'm Nakul Dev Mahajan, the Bollywood choreographer.
Hi, I'm Zara Fuzzle, and I play Mrs. Khan.
I'm Rizwan Manji, and I play Mr. Khan.
I'm Ayana Manji, and I play Sadia Khan.
I'm Dorothy Shantak, the art director.
Hi, my name is Nabil Arshad, and I'm a writer.
Hi, I'm Kamran Khan, and I'm King Devinder.
I'm Andrew, and I'm the production manager.
I'm Josh Glass, and I'm the editor.
Hi, I'm Ghassar Muhammad, and I play Miss Jaffrey.
Assalamu alaikum, and hi, I'm Randa Regab from Silla Consulting, and I'm the Muslim cultural consultant on Mira Royal Detective.
The Mira Royal Detective team is honored and privileged to receive a media award from the MPAC Hollywood Bureau.
It takes a lot of people to make an animated show.
There are writers,
visual designers,
producers,
directors, storyboard artists,
composers, musicians.
In the case of our show, choreographers.
Making Mira is a true collaboration.
That's why there are so many of us on your screen right now.
No one of us could pull this off by ourselves.
This spirit of collaboration infuses the way we handle Muslim representation in the series.
The world of Mira is inclusive, thoughtful,
kind, and inspiring.
As artists, we get to create the world we want to see.
In our show, Mira is a young detective who lives in the town of Jalpur,
a fictional town inspired by Rajasthan in northern India.
We always wanted Jalpur to be a place that felt welcoming to everyone.
So that meant making sure that many voices are heard at every stage of the process.
Each one of us is an integral part of that process.
We know that Muslim representation on television hasn't always been positive.
We see Mira as a chance to put forth images that haven't been seen on children's television before.
A happy family joyfully celebrating Eid al-Fitr together.
A Hindu girl and a Muslim girl having a great time together, dancing as friends.
A talented shire visiting a town for a mehfil that all the kids are excited about.
And a Muslim merchant that's part of the fabric of the town.
All of these instances require in-depth dialogue and, again, collaboration to make sure that our Muslim representation is authentic, thoughtful, and intentional.
It isn't always easy, but we believe it's essential.
And that real representation requires extra time, care, and nuance.
This recognition from MPAC is so meaningful to us.
Because it means that the choices we collectively made have had an impact.
We hope that Mira is just one step towards more just representation of Muslim culture.
Congratulations to MPAC on the 30th anniversary of the Media Awards.
We truly appreciate the Muslim Public Affairs Council, Hollywood Bureau,
and everything that they do.
Thank you, MPAC. We believe
representation matters.
Representation matters.
Oh my god, we won, dude! Oh my god.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. It is an absolute pleasure to virtually be here with all of you tonight. The amount of dawah we've done by merely working with so many non-Muslims, embracing and acknowledging the Muslim identity through United States of Al is enormous. And thank God this is the MPAC Awards, because if I said any of that elsewhere, the headlines would scream, and I mean scream, Sharia law creeping its way into Hollywood. And quite frankly, I don't think we need that right now.
As you know, Hila, that has been our agenda from the start. Working on this show has been an absolute dream come true. I mean, we both grew up in the 80s watching sitcoms.
Lots of sitcoms.
But I don't ever remember seeing, any sitcom character pray the way Al does, or for that matter, Bernice family.
Nope, never seen that. In Abu Amir, or Al, we have the first Muslim protagonist on broadcast TV ever. Al is not a good Muslim or a bad Muslim, those. He's just a regular dude trying to do regular things and adjust to his new life. That, as you know, is not easy to pull off.
To do that, we knew we would have to build a different kind of writer's room. That's why half our staff joined the Writers Guild as a result of working on our show.
And behind every good character is a handful of talented writers.
But in my case, I needed more. I needed a linguist, body language expert, and a stunt double.
That's me. But in all seriousness, this show has allowed us to present a male Muslim character who is funny, good looking, very religious, who loves his family and his country, and who has good for everyone in his heart.
One of the most meaningful moments for me was getting to name a character after my father. I flew from LA to Florida to watch that episode with him. Well, I mostly just watched him watch the episode and hear his name said on television for the first time ever, pronounced correctly, Qasem. He was also very happy that we cast him so handsomely and accurately.
My 12-year-old niece came up to me after watching United States of Al, and she said, Zaro Khala, I heard Pashto for the first time on TV. That's the language my grandparents speak, and that's the language I speak. It was right there and right then that I realized that United States of Al has done its job. To make a child born and raised in the United States with Afghan roots feel connected to characters on the screen. It's such an honor to play Gulbashra, to present my language, my native language of Pashto on screen. It means a lot more because Pashto has always been vilified. Pashtuns have always been vilified. And United States of Al is changing that narrative.
One of my favorite moments from the show is when Al is expanding the garage to ward off the evil eye, because it's such a specific Afghan family mom experience. My mom continues to do it every time I go home. That's why I don't have a lot of evil eye around me anymore. It's very effective, guys. That, and to be in an episode of the show where I was part of the first Afghan family depicted on a network television show, which seems insane, but very exciting to be a part of that moment.
It's been such a pleasure to get to play an Afghan American on network television for the first time in an almost 17-year career. Yep, I'm often told that I don't look Afghan enough. Anyway, it really is such a joy to be on television playing an Afghan, not in a geopolitical narrative, not as a terrorist, not as a tyrant on primetime TV, just as a girl trying to get a boy to understand her.
To be able to portray Qasem, a loving, decent Afghan father on network TV has just been really incredible for me. And then to sit down and watch the show with my family and the laughs we've had, and especially at the scenes where Adir and I get to talk in Dari, and they can't even believe they're watching it. To watch Adir tackle both Dari and Pashto in the way he has, on top of everything else that he has to do, hats off to him.
Thank you, MPAC, for recognizing the United States of Al.
And thank you, Warner Brothers, CBS, and Chuck Lorre for making this all possible.
Without the amazing staff, crew, and all of you, none of this would have been possible.
We are honored to accept the 2022 Media Award that recognizes voices of courage and conscience. Thank you so much.
Happy 30th anniversary, MPAC!
Yay! Like us, they're millennials.
Barely.
Thank you, MPAC, and happy anniversary.
On behalf of the entire cast and crew at United States of Al,
we thank the Muslim Public Affairs Council for blessing us with such a distinction. Bismillah to more moments like this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
I am so happy for the children of today because despite the many challenges they are facing, they are starting to see themselves reflected on screen. As an immigrant child, that wasn't the case. I consumed so much television. That's how I learned about the world around me. It wasn't until later in life that I realized what was missing. People who looked like me and my community. Thank you to our Episodic series honorees for changing that. As I said earlier, we work in the entertainment industry to improve the narrative around Muslims on TV and film. One way we do this is by connecting Muslim talent to decision makers with the aim that their projects make it to production. Here is Khadija Rashid, another one of our success stories. Khadija?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am so happy to be here with you today as MPAC celebrates its 30th Media Awards. And congratulations to all the honorees. My name is Khadija Rashid. My relationship with MPAC began many years ago. I participated in several of their programs during that time. And despite leaving California for several years to raise my children and start my matchmaking business, I remained connected with the organization. When the pandemic hit, I still wanted to find a way to help Muslims find love. I decided to turn my work into a docuseries, The Muslima Matchmaker. However, after successfully pitching the show to Warner Brothers, I was struggling to find representation. So I reached out to MPAC's Hollywood Bureau for direction. They always believed in me and my talent. Because of our history, they helped me find an agent and move my project to the next level. And now I am excited to share that my show has been picked up by a streaming platform, and my team and I are now in the process of casting. It is with the support of people like you that MPAC can continue to support storytellers like me. So please donate generously today. Now back to you, Sue.
Thank you, Khadija. We are so proud of you. I know that your journey has been long, but thank God you stuck it out, and we are rooting for you. Please join us as we continue our work in elevating the voices and visibility of Muslim talent like Khadija's in the entertainment industry. Please take a moment right now to donate by visiting mpac.org. As we continue our program, I'd like to thank our major donors, Linda and Hamdi Nuruddin, Naila and Anwar Akram, Tammy Adaya and Amr Tanir, and NBC Universal. Now, let's go back to Omar Reagan on Hollywood Boulevard. Omar, I'm passing it off to you.
Salams, this is Omar Reagan and I'm on Hollywood Boulevard and I'm with my family from Nigeria. Woo-hoo! I'm standing with
Chase.
Chase, like the bank? How you doing?
Pretty well.
Oh, yes. What's the most memorable positive portrayal of a Muslim that you've seen in TV or film?
Malcolm X.
Oh, I like that.
Malcolm X, oh, come on.
That's actually something that I never thought of, but it's not a lot portrayed in a good way. And I think that might be because of the Middle East thing with the gas. You know how America is. Don't put that on there, but they're going to hunt me down.
Positive.
I'll wait.
Hold on.
Nope. No. I can't think of any.
I know, I don't see much.
But I can't even think of one. Right now you're asking me. I can't even think of any, like one, maybe, yeah, I can't think of one.
I think it's this one TV show called Never Have I Ever. It's like on Netflix and it has like, I think she's like Indian, Muslimish kind of, and she stars in it.
Do you know Muslim culture? Do you like, what is halal?
Oh, that's that good food.
I think they don't eat like dairies or like cows and stuff like that.
They don't eat that stuff. Do you guys know any famous Muslims?
I don't know if they're Muslim. I wouldn't know off the top of my head if I know of any famous Muslims.
Like famous?
Yeah.
Not besides any like princes or anything. I mean, I don't know them, but...
You know princes and stuff? Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry, Giovanni.
No, I don't know.
You know kings and stuff?
No.
Cat Stevens has converted, but that was a long time ago. That's old news.
I know there are probably a few of them, but I can't remember their names right now, sadly.
Well, I know like Mike Tyson's a Muslim, so that's good.
What about Muhammad Ali? You know him?
I do know him, yeah.
Do you know Bella Hadid?
I do not know.
What? You mean she's not coming over for dinner?
She's not.
I don't know models.
I don't know watch that. No.
And that was good. That was a good answer. I have no idea.
I really don't.
What about DJ Khaled?
I know DJ Khaled. We the best. Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Hi, Basalam.
Hi, salam. Salam to all of you guys.
Salam alaikum.
Salam MPAC, you already know.
Salam MPAC. What else you got?
That's all, darling.
It means peace?
Yeah, it just means peace, like this.
Thank you, Omar. For sure, you need your own show. Can I be in it? I'll have my people call your people. And now let's continue with the awards. Here to introduce the last two honorees is Maha Dakil. She represents actors, writers, and directors such as Tom Cruise, Natalie Portman, Anne Hathaway, and Steven Spielberg. Maha has been a longtime supporter of our work in Hollywood, and we are so grateful to her for being a part of tonight's program. Maha, take it away.
Thank you, Sue. Before I introduce the last two recipients, I want to congratulate all of tonight's honorees. It's been so inspiring to see more authentic inclusion of Muslim characters and narratives on TV and film, and I am very hopeful for the future. Now we honor two changemakers using their craft to make a positive impact in the world. As an actor-activist, Hisham Tawfiq believes in living a richly diverse life in pursuit of constant growth. A former platoon leader in the Marine Corps, New York City firefighter, and first responder on 9/11, Hisham brings unique life experience to the craft of acting. He also serves as chairperson of the Mosque of Islamic Brotherhood in Harlem, considered the oldest African-American mosque in America. In his role as Dembe on the Blacklist, he worked with the creators to reflect the Muslim character in an authentic light. His thoughtful portrayal of Dembe reflects his dedication to create positive Islamic protagonists in the industry. Next, Amna Noaz is one of the few American Muslim media personalities on television. She is also the first Asian American and Muslim to moderate a United States presidential debate. As PBS NewsHour's chief correspondent, Amna is making her mark in broadcast news. Before joining PBS, Amna was an anchor correspondent at ABC News and a foreign correspondent at NBC. Reporting on issues from climate change to the invasion of Ukraine and gun control, Amna represents the valuable role journalists play in seeking and reporting the truth at home and around the world. Amna is a role model for women and people of color who want to break into the broadcast industry. Please help me in welcoming our Changemaker honorees.
Assalamu alaikum, Imam.
Wa alaikum Naheem tells me you rented out his entire restaurant for Ramadan.
I wanted to sponsor a few iftars for the community.
I'm the oldest of 5 brothers, raised in a Muslim community. My father was an imam, homeschooled up until 6th grade, very sheltered and protected. And after the 6th grade is when I went to public school and really started to get a taste of what the world really was.
It's important for us to understand that Islam is not for show. It is not to be performed for approval, for validation.
That was probably a sweetheart film for me. My father was an imam, so I got to play an imam in this film, so that made it full circle moment for me.
Having a Muslim name and then with, my features, a lot of people always thought that I was from Ghana or someplace from Africa. All my auditions were African cab driver, African this, African that.
Thank you, Raymond. It's perfect. Happy birthday, my friend.
It was just really trippy knowing that I did this work. I created this character, introduced Arabic and all of this stuff, and then it slowly started to unfold as Dembe went from first season to second season to third.
Crazy about this character, by the way, is that they initially did not plan for him to be a regular on the show. And then you came in and brought the magic and changed their minds.
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I came on to do 1 episode. They asked me to stay for 2 episodes, and that went to 6 months to a full year. And going on 9 years later, I'm still here, so it's truly a blessing.
It just didn't sink in.
Guys were just crawling under beams, crawling under cars, climbing on top of things.
So what's it like, a day in the life of a firefighter?
I tell people like being a fireman is like being Superman. You put on all of that stuff and you actually feel like you could just do anything. That was probably one of the proudest days of my life.
Hundreds of people have gathered in the streets to join a rally led by Imran Khan to protest the drone strikes by America. After 9/11, the lives of millions of American Muslims changed overnight. For the 20 years that followed, U.S. national security would be transformed. Pop culture and media representations of Muslims took a different angle. And over the years, U.S. presidents have explicitly taken very different stances on how Muslims should be seen. So I'm curious from your perspective, over the last 20 years, do you think it's gotten better?
Isn't it strange? It feels like things are getting worse and better at the same time.
A quick snapshot of Amna's career so far. She graduated from Penn in 2009 as a captain of the field hockey team. She went on to earn a master's degree at the London School of Economics. Amna previously spent time as an anchor and correspondent of ABC News and was a foreign correspondent at NBC News. She's currently the senior national correspondent and primary substitute anchor at PBS NewsHour. Amna has also been honored with an Emmy Award for the NBC News special Inside the Obama White House.
Your father's career in journalism set the stage for your aspirations as a child growing up.
My parents, I am really blessed to be able to say, raised my sisters and I to follow our own path. The lesson from the very beginning was, we don't care what you do, but you do whatever you do with all your heart. You're not allowed to go half-assed through this world. So figure out what it is that drives you, that excites you when you get out of bed in the morning, and then throw yourself into it.
In 2019, her reporting as part of a NewsHour series on the global plastic problem was the recipient of the Peabody Award.
Plastic can take hundreds of years to break down, and even then, only into microparticles. It's hurting animals. It's in our food chain. Plastic is everywhere. I've always been a big believer in the idea that the loudest voice in the room is not necessarily the most powerful one. The words that you use matter. And that is why you choose them carefully and you deliver them carefully. It's true both in our personal lives, certainly in our professional lives. I'm a huge believer in the idea that love and truth will win the day. And if you keep it simple and you focus on the facts and you keep moving forward, you're going to get there.
And here are Hisham Tawfiq and Amna Noaz to accept the award.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to congratulate MPAC on celebrating its 30th anniversary Image Award. I am humbled, I am honored, and I am over the moon to be selected this year as one of MPAC's honorees. This actually is my first award ever when it comes to TV, film, or theater. And what makes this really, really special is I'm being acknowledged for my depiction of an African Muslim, which is extremely important and special to me. I was raised as an African-American Muslim in Harlem. My father was Sheikh Alama Al-Hajj K. Ahmad Tawfiq, and I sat in many kibbahs and had many conversations with him about the importance of Islam and being Muslim, especially when it came to the Black man in the United States. And it kind of guided me in all of my actions that I take, whether I'm in the Marine Corps, whether I was in the fire department, whether I was a correction officer, whether I'm walking down the street, whether I'm in the mosque. I always walked around with my identity. I always walked around with my faith. I was proud of it. And I made sure that people saw the real Islam, the authentic Islam. And we all know the challenges today when it comes to the stereotypes and depictions of Muslims, especially in film and television. We all understand how important media and TV is and how important we play a role in shattering these stereotypes. And I have been blessed to be on a show called The Blacklist, where I am working with creators who are open to new ideas, to things they had no knowledge of, and have welcomed my input on making sure that this African Muslim man, Dembe, is portrayed in all of his glory and shown as a full human being. So again, thank you, MPAC, for the work that you do. I know it's not an easy job. I know it's a fight every day, but you are definitely making changes. Shukran and assalamu alaikum.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here and welcome to my home. I have to say, Pakistanis are actually known for our hospitality, so it's a little weird for me to have you all here and not be able to serve you tea and give you a bunch of food, but maybe next time. I'm just incredibly thrilled and really humbled to receive this award from MPAC. Thank you so very much. I'm incredibly humbled because I know the long list of esteemed journalists and truth tellers and storytellers who've received it before me. Thank you also, MPAC, for the work that you do every day to uplift and amplify underrepresented stories, our stories. You know, you make sure that we are empowered to tell our own stories. And you do so in a way that allows the full spectrum, right? The full experience of our community to be seen, all of our dreams and our hopes and our fears and our jokes and our flaws, everything that we know we are, so the rest of the world can better understand us. I realized in my work, not only as a journalist, but my life as a daughter and a sister and a wife and a mother and a friend, that one of the greatest gifts you can give someone is to make them feel like they're being seen and they are being heard. I try to do that every day in my work, and I know it's something that's at the core of MPAC's mission, so thank you for that. Look, I know that my work is all about facts and sources and analysis and the search for truth, but I wanted to say something about imagination, if you don't mind, because that's also at the core of what we do. See, when I do my work, I have to imagine that when I'm talking to these families, telling stories about Muslims in America who are narrowly and dangerously misrepresented, or Black Americans who've long borne the brunt of racism here, or immigrant or refugee or migrant populations who are so often have their stories leveraged for political purposes, Jewish Americans who still bear the brunt of rising tides of anti-Semitism, I have to imagine that people watching those stories are going to care as much about those families as they do about their own. I have to imagine a world in which that is true in order to be able to do this work. Navigating my career in this business, I've had to imagine that someone like me, someone who looks like me, could fill some of the roles that hadn't previously been filled by people like me. You know, I had to imagine that before I could convince other people to give me the chance to do those things. I had to imagine someone like me could anchor political coverage. I had to imagine I could interview a president. I could moderate a presidential debate. I could sit at an anchor desk and be seen as a credible voice in this country. Imagination is what powered so much of my career. The necessity of that imagination is at the core and should be at the core of everything we do. See, here's the thing we know to be true. All of the stories we're telling now, they started to be written generations ago. And our place today is to tell them as well as we can, to move things a little bit more forward, to carry that baton as far as we can and then hand it off to the next generation. I'm so grateful every day to be able to play my small part in doing that through this journalism that I love to do. And I'm just so thrilled and honored to receive this award today for that work. Thank you.
Wow, that was great. I love that. You know, Habib and I actually got to meet and spend time with Hisham a few weeks ago at the ATX TV Festival. And what a lovely human being he is. And I've known Amna for a few years now. My life is enriched because of it. Whether it's in our policy work or in our work in Hollywood, making the change we want to see is slow and oftentimes an uphill battle. But that doesn't slow down Salam Al-Mariyati, the president of MPAC. Salam is the reason there is a Hollywood Bureau. Please welcome Salam Al-Mariyati.
We are so encouraged by the work our honorees do. We look to you, the Muslim creatives, activists, and allies to keep the momentum going, because change, even though it is slow, is happening. This year, MPAC is celebrating another accolade, The Hollywood Bureau, led by Sue Beatty, was named one of the 60 advocates on Variety's annual list of creatives and organizations making an impact on the entertainment industry. This recognition is also a recognition of our community and the inroads we're making towards representation in front of and behind the screen. This accolade can only come after many years of persistent hard work, but we cannot do this alone. You, our donors, make this possible. Please take a moment to show your support with a donation at mpac.org. Before I introduce our next guest, I would like to acknowledge donors who help make change possible. Thank you to Aliya Haq and Mohsen Ansari, Murad Siam, Umayma Salous and Omar Hamawi, Muna Jundi and Dr. Jawad Shah, Amina Adaya, Nadia and Muhammad Diab, Yasmin and Salim Adaya, Asma and Irfan Furniturwala. Let me acknowledge a few more individuals who have uplifted us with their financial support. Many thanks to Rana and Muhammad Malas, Dalia and Hatem Naguib, Caroline and Amr Yunus, Dilnaz and Qaisar Wareich, the Bukai family, Abdul Hamid Yunus, Zubayda and Dr. Iftikhar Khan, Harim and Adil Khan. Now, 30 years ago, I had the distinct pleasure of presenting our first ever media award to Morgan Freeman for the role of Azim in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It was through his portrayal of Azim, a heroic Muslim character in a blockbuster movie, that Morgan gave us a beloved character to take pride in and encouraged others in the entertainment industry to follow suit. In addition to his memorable presence on stage, screen, and as a narrator, this Oscar-winning actor supports philanthropic causes close to his heart through his foundation in Mississippi. We are honored to have Morgan celebrate with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Morgan Freeman.
Good evening. I'm Morgan Freeman. You may know me from some of my movie roles, such as Red from Shawshank Redemption, or Hope Coleman from Driving Miss Daisy. I even played God more than once. Back in 1991, I played the role of Azim Eden Bashir al-Bakir, or just Azim, opposite Kevin Costner in a movie called Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Azim was a Muslim prisoner who Robin freed as they were both jailed in Jerusalem. From that day on, Azim was Robin's loyal bodyguard and a trusted friend who saved the day more than once. That year, I received MPAC's first ever media award for playing Azim. To give you an idea of how little Muslim representation there was at the time, I was the only honoree. But Azim represented something different. At a time when Muslims were often only portrayed as villains or victims, Azim was a hero. And that meant a lot to a lot of people, and to me. But thanks to the work of the folks at MPAC's Hollywood Bureau, things were a lot different now. The Hollywood Bureau has not only ensured that TV shows and motion pictures represent authentic Muslim characters, or I should have said present authentic Muslim characters, they're working to develop the next generation of Muslim screenwriters, actors, and producers. Congratulations to the board and the staff of MPAC on its 30th Annual Media Awards. Tonight, MPAC honors 7 artists, shows, movies, and activists who are presenting their American Muslim experience. These are people who, like Azim, are heroes in their own right. They're telling their stories as they experience them and opening up the world a little bit bigger for those who come after them. So, to all of tonight's honorees, I say, keep telling the unique stories of your life and your community. Because Azim once said to a little girl, Allah love's wondrous varieties.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Morgan Freeman, for your inspiring words. I was there 30 years ago to see Salam present the first ever media award to Mr. Freeman. This is a bit surreal. And indeed, God loves wondrous varieties. Please join me in congratulating our award recipients for the 2022 MPAC Media Awards. Each of our honorees move our world forward by enhancing the authentic portrayals of Muslims on TV and film. And thank you to our presenters who took time from their very busy lives to be part of the journey. We launched the Hollywood Bureau to not only provide guidance to major studios, but to cultivate Muslim screenwriters, directors, and producers to tell our stories. To those of you working in the entertainment industry to make an impactful change, you are the reason we do this work. As we're celebrating here tonight, we look ahead, audacious and driven, with the high hopes that the future holds incredible opportunities. Thank you to Peacock TV, the Islamic Center of Southern California, Sadia and Dr. Arif Rizvi, and Warner Media Discovery for their support of our work. Thank you to all the board and staff and volunteers who help elevate our work in Hollywood. A special thank you to our friend and incredibly talented producer, Hasnain Sayed, and the rest of the MPAC Media Awards team, Muna Daria, Riham Osman, Akifa Khan, Abdullah Abbas, Zain Il-Naka, and Narmeen Mishal, for their incredible work in making tonight possible. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you and good night.